When you think of an art museum, you probably think of quiet galleries, dusty labels. But things are changing. Inside some of the world's top museums, a new team member is starting work. And, well, it's not human. Today, we're going to dig into how, as of late 2025, artificial intelligence is quietly changing the very way we look at art. Just imagine this for a second. You're standing in front of some incredible painting, but instead of just reading that little plaque, what if you could actually ask it questions? Like, what was the artist really thinking here? Or, hey, can you show me other stuff from this time period? That's the future we're stepping into. But the big question is it a future we actually want? Let's find out. All right, so here's our plan. First, we're going to uncover the two main jobs that AI is already doing in museums. Then we'll get into the visitor verdict, what people really think. After that, we'll explore this really cool human plus AI model. And finally, we'll lay out a simple playbook for making this whole partnership a huge success. Okay, first up, right now AI is pretty much playing two totally different parts. You can think of it like this. There's the unseen librarian working deep in the archives, and then there's the brand new tour guide right there with you on the gallery floor. So in the background, the back end, AI is kind of the ultimate librarian. It's helping organize these massive collections, making things searchable, and even helping researchers. But then, out on the gallery floor, it becomes your personal guide. It's powering those conversational apps, giving you accessibility tools, and even acting as a little voice companion right on your phone. So the technology is obviously really powerful. But the real test, the question that actually matters is, how does it feel for you, the visitor? What's the verdict from the people who are actually using this stuff? Well, the latest research gives us a surprisingly clear picture. And you know what? The results are this wild mix of some amazing wins and some pretty serious warnings. On one hand, people absolutely love the freedom. They love asking whatever weird personal question pops into their head and just exploring at their own pace. And the accessibility stuff, like instant translations, that's a huge, huge win. But on the flip side, nothing kills the vibe faster than an AI confidently telling you the wrong date for a masterpiece. And then you've got this thing called the uncanny guide effect, that kind of creepy feeling you get when an AI sounds too human, but you know it isn't. And all of this really points to the single most important finding from all the research. Success isn't about having the coolest, flashiest new tech. It's about having a clear goal. You have to know why you're using it. Are you trying to make things more accessible or get people to have deeper conversations? If you don't know the why, then the tech is just a gimmick. So if AI by itself can be, well, a little weird and sometimes wrong, what's the answer? It's definitely not about throwing out the tech. No, it's about creating a partnership. And the fix isn't just to cram the AI with more and more information. The real solution is about managing the interaction itself. It's about setting clear boundaries for the AI, guardrails, controlling its tone, and then actually measuring if it's hitting those goals we just talked about.
And this brings us to what looks like the most effective solution so far, the human-led paradigm. The idea is simple. A human docent, a trained museum guide, is always in the driver's seat. They use the AI almost like a co-pilot to spark ideas or look something up, but the human always, always has the final say on the facts. It's truly the best of both worlds.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how does this actually work in the real world? Let's break down the playbook for putting this human-led model into action. It really just boils down to three pretty simple steps. First, you have to give the AI a very specific job description, a prompt that tells it exactly what to do, and maybe more importantly, what not to do. Second, you gotta be honest and upfront with your audience. And third, you need a simple way to check if it's actually helping. And that second step, the framing, is absolutely critical. Just look at this script. By starting with, hey everyone, I'm using a voice-based helper, and it can be imperfect, the guide instantly manages expectations. It builds trust, it takes all the pressure off the AI to be some kind of flawless genius, and reframes it as a tool for exploring ideas together. This right here is the antidote to that creepy, uncanny guide problem. And checking if it's working doesn't require some massive, complicated study. It can be as simple as this. Are people sticking around longer? Are they asking more questions? And my personal favorite question here, what's one thing you noticed that you hadn't at first? I mean, that question gets right to the heart of it all. Is this tool actually helping people find deeper meaning in the art? And finally, of course, there's the essential fine print. This is mostly common sense, but it's crucial. Respect people's privacy, don't record other visitors, follow the museum's rules, and always, always check what the official policy is before you fire up any new tech on a tour.
You know, this quote really nails the core takeaway. AI in museums works best not when it's trying to replace people, but when it's supporting them. When you have a human guide leading the way, who acknowledges the tech's limits, that's when it can become this really powerful tool for deeper conversation and connection. So, in the end, this leaves us with a totally new question. It's not really about whether AI belongs in museums anymore. The real question is, how can we use this new partnership, this team-up between human and machine, to help us all see art, and maybe even each other, just a little more clearly?